Hi everybody, this is foXnoMad, and today I want to help you travel smarter by reviewing the Timbuk2 Copilot luggage. Now, this is a piece of luggage that makes me wonder why more luggage isn't designed like this, and it also makes me wonder one other thing which I'll get to in a minute. Timbuk2 mixes a lot of the fabrics they use across their bags, but the Copilot is primarily made of Cordura nylon. That's pretty much the standard nylon you'll find on most quality bags, so no surprises there. Now, this is usually the part in a video where I'll lay out all the specs, which you can see here. Then I go through each of the pockets and I explain them and what they do. And the nice thing about this bag is there's pretty much nothing to it. There's two main compartments and one little shoe pack, and then this front slide pocket on the front, which is for an iPad or laptops, but you really wouldn't keep anything valuable in there, especially if you're checking in a bag. And that's one of the best features of this bag, is that it's very, very simply designed, because when you have a lot of pockets for a specific purpose in a bag, that's basically the designer telling you, hey, we think you should put this thing here. Whereas a bag that's like this, which doesn't have a lot of pockets and dividers, leaves a lot of the packing decisions up to you. And I don't know about you, but generally I prefer it to make the decisions rather than the designer who has to make a decision for basically everybody that's going to be using the bag. It's much more customizable and much more flexible for a traveler to have a bag that isn't divided up too much with a lot of pockets, because that way you can organize your stuff the way you want. And speaking of that shoe compartment, it's really actually useful in a bag this size. I've seen that if you know my Air 2 review, if you watch that, you've seen that they also have a shoe compartment in that carry-on, and it's very frustrating because it's probably a pocket that you're not going to use very often. So having it in a smaller bag doesn't quite make much sense, but having a shoe compartment in a larger bag is great. And a lot of people, when they think of the clamshell style, they don't like it. They think it's a little bit inefficient, but I think it's even more efficient to have the bag open up sort of in that clam style, because you can get to things much easier. So if you take a look at the review I did of my Osprey 60-liter backpack, you'll see that it's pretty much one huge compartment, which I'm a big fan of in a lot of my bags. But when it comes to your main travel bag, your suitcase, your luggage, then having that one huge pocket can be great, but it can also be kind of cumbersome if you're traveling very frequently. So if you've got a couple of multiple stops in a couple of days and you need to get things in and out of your bag very quickly, it doesn't make it very efficient, because you've got all that clothes on top and you've got to sort of search for your clothes underneath your other clothes. So having this sort of book opening style bag is really easy to get your things in and out of. If you have dirty laundry, you can use one side for the dirty stuff and the other side for the clean stuff if the bag is not completely full. But one thing I do want to note about this bag is the zipper that closes the clamshell style case, or whatever you would call it, is a little bit rigid. So hopefully that will break in over time, but it's a little bit stiff. It's not going to be very easy to get your things in and out of the bag initially, because that zipper is just a little bit tight. I do like and I don't like at the same time this sort of quick grab compartment you have on the front. So that first folder pocket on the front for the iPad or for a laptop or something like that is going to be pretty useless. You're probably not going to pack anything valuable in there at all. So when they put that kind of pocket in luggage, it's sort of useless. It just kind of looks cooler, I guess, to have that zipper on the front. But that quick grab compartment on the front is really convenient for you, but it's also really convenient when it's going through airport security for somebody who's checking bags to take stuff out of. So that doesn't happen everywhere in the world, but a lot of times you'll go through security, you'll check in your bag, and you'll arrive at your destination and some things are actually missing, and having that front compartment being so accessible makes that just a little bit easier. I've had that happen to me with some other bags on a couple of flights, so just to keep in mind. So when you check this bag in, you probably want to lock that front compartment if you have a small lock, if you're concerned about theft, or if you're traveling to places where you're not quite comfortable with the security measures that are at the airport, for example. You might want to consider locking that front compartment, those front two zippers, because if anybody at security needs to get in the bag to do a more thorough check, they can just simply open up the zipper that goes around the bag and open it from the inside. Now what that does is it's just a small deterrent. So basically what that's just going to do is add a couple of seconds for anybody who's trying to get in the bag, and I'm talking about airport security. So it's not going to be as convenient for them to just sort of reach in from that front quick grab pocket. Now once you arrive at your destination, having that quick grab pocket is very convenient because it's easy for you to get your stuff in and out of without having to open up the entire bag. A couple of other small things that I really like about this bag is the handle is really smooth, so it's a very quick, smooth process. So a lot of other bags, you notice that it's got that hinge in the middle. This bag with the Timbuk2, you don't notice that hinge. It's a very smooth mechanism for using that handlebar, which means it feels like it could go for many trips before you need to replace it or cash in on that warranty that comes with this bag. And speaking of that warranty, it does come with a lifetime warranty, so if anything goes wrong with the bag, you can send it back to them and they'll repair it for you. If you're done using the bag and you're upgrading to another bag or changing your bags out, Timbuk2 also has a recycling program, which is really convenient, so you can send it back to them for recycling, so you don't just throw it in the garbage, and maybe they can reuse some of the parts. One other thing that I like about this design of this bag, and I wish more bags were just this simple but efficiently designed, are the skateboard wheels that are used for the wheels of the roller itself. So those are skateboard wheels, which means you can replace them using wheels from any skateboard shop. They're extremely durable and the rolling mechanism is very smooth. So if you have a roller luggage already, you probably notice the wheels when you roll it. So what I mean by that is when you're in the airport, when you're sort of rolling your luggage along, you probably notice the feeling of the wheels, sort of the bag sort of moving on the ground. This bag, this Copilot bag, is incredibly smooth. There's something about a bag, especially when you have a bag that's been being used for a long time, when the wheels get a little bit stiff and you kind of got to pull it more, or it makes noise, or it starts bumping your bag and you feel the vibration in your hand. Sort of, I don't know why, but it just kind of gets annoying after a while. So going to this bag and feeling and testing these wheels and realizing how smooth they are was a really pleasant feeling. And that just goes to a lot of great things about this bag. It's very simple, it's very well designed, it's got high quality material, and it's how I think I would design a bag if I were going to design a luggage this size. There's one thing that I mentioned in the beginning that I wonder about this bag and that I really wish they would change about it, and that's the part about it that doesn't quite exist. The Copilot comes in 4 different versions, which is basically based on size. So there's a small, medium, large, and extra large. The small is about 42 liters, the medium is 52. You've got this large, the one I'm showing you now, which is 80 liters, and then you've got a massive 120 liter bag, which is probably a huge bag. I think the 80 liter bag, the way it's designed, is it uses a lot of the interior space without wasting a lot of interior space with pockets, and it sort of rounds out to the corners so you can fit a lot of things in it. For an 80 liter bag, it fits a lot, but it doesn't feel or look very big itself. So it's a compact 80 but a spacious 80 at the same time, if you know what I mean. It's pretty much they're using a lot or as much of the interior space as they possibly can, which leads me to my point about this issue with the size, which is this bag is great if you get the 42 liter. It's a carry-on pretty much anywhere in the world. If you get the 52 liter, it's a carry-on maybe within the United States or some airlines that allow for larger carry-ons, but 52 is going to be on the larger carry-on size, but it still could probably pass. And then it jumps up to the 80 liter, which is a full-on suitcase luggage. You've got to check that thing. And 120 liters, which is just massive bag. And what I wonder about this Timbuk2 Copilot bag is why there's not a 60 or maybe a 65 liter version. It would be, I think, for very frequent travelers, it would be the ideal size. So if you're somebody who's on the road a lot, if you're somebody who travels very frequently, but you need more things than a carry-on size, so if you're traveling for a couple of weeks or months at a time and you want a bag that you would have to check in, or you need a bag that you would have to check in, but you don't want something that's too big because you don't carry a lot of stuff. You don't want to get a bag that's going to force you to carry a lot of stuff because people tend to fill up their bags. Then a 60 liter is an ideal size for that. It's an ideal size if you're digital nomad, if you're location independent. I've found it to be pretty much the ideal size for people who travel frequently for longer trips, but who don't want a lot of stuff, who've kind of sort of managed that out. 80 is a little bit too big, I think, for me personally. 45 and 52 are just a little bit too small, so a 60 liter version of this bag would just be great, but they don't make it. So Timbuk2, if you're watching this, please make a 60-liter version of this bag. But until then, the 80 is maybe a little bit on the larger size and the 52 is just a little bit on the smaller size. So if you want something that's more of a minimalist check-in bag, then this bag is not for you unless you can really fit into 52 liters. So should you buy this bag? So all of that said, I think the Timbuk2 Copilot series are an excellent series of bags because the build quality is very good. The design is just almost ideal to fit as much stuff as you can into a bag to make it convenient, easily accessible to get your things. It's just a really well designed bag. Now the Timbuk2 are a little bit on the pricey side, but you've got the lifetime warranty, which is nice. And these bags are built to last. They're known for their durability. So having a bag or getting a bag like this and paying for the bag cost up front means that you're going to get a bag that's going to last you a long time, a couple of years down the road. I'll follow up with this bag and do a road test it in a couple of years and let you know how well this particular bag holds up. If you have any questions about this bag or if you want to check it out, there are links in the description below so you can check out the bag, the Copilot series. Let me know what you think of this bag in the comments below. What size bag do you travel with? Do you go with the 45, 50? Are you more on the smaller carry-on only traveler? Do you check in a bag? And if you check in a bag, what bag do you use and what size is that? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're down there, hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'll have new videos for you every week. Thanks very much for watching and I will see you in the next video. So having this sort of book opening style bag. Hey, so I'm editing this video right now and I've just realized that I forgot to include something, but you've stuck around this long for this part of the video, so I wanted to share a little tip for you. So if you go to Timbuk2's website, start doing the checkout procedure and then enter your email as if you're going to order it. But before you get to the payment page, leave or close the tab, wait a day, maybe a little bit less, and magically in your inbox you're gonna get a discount percentage for like 10 or 20% off. It kind of varies, but you'll get a coupon code there that you can use to score a discount. So don't buy it right away, wait to see what discount they'll send you within 24 hours. It's worth giving a shot. So again, if you go to their website, something I noticed when I was working on this review, so just keep that in mind and you might be able to save a little bit of money on this bag. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll leave, just click there, and I'll see you in the next video.